The social and emotional strategies and the individual interventions in the classroom management plan and the classroom that I was able to observe were very well organized, very well thought out and implemented. There were 4 distinct behavior issues in the classroom and 2 other issues that were being observed, and data was being collected on as I was observing in the classroom. So this classroom was not without its issues. However, they were dealt with in a very positive and proactive manner. A great deal of observation, assessments, and team meetings, family meetings, all were a part of how the behavior plans were implemented and the strategies that were used to assist individual students and the classroom overall as a whole. Speaking first to the classroom as a whole, the teacher in the classroom had a very positive outlook and a very positive attitude and tried to implement small strategies throughout the day to make it all run smoothly. Transitions were constant and continuous. She was always talking to the students and always available to talk with the students or family members. There were particular strategies in place. The children knew not to say things like, I can't, I don't want to, I don't know how. Not that they knew not to say it, but she tried to really enforce in the students that you have to have a can-do attitude, and I thought that if this was something that the students could carry on and continue throughout life, it's going to help them with so many issues that are going to come up not only in their school life, but in their life outside of school and within their families. So far as individual interventions, a great deal of accommodations and modifications were already in place for several students. As stated prior, for one individual student, I helped to create a system of signals, the thumbs up and thumbs down, and also created materials where we made up signs for this individual student to use. This was one when he was wanting to work on his own and independently. This was a sign to let the student know that maybe his behavior or his attitude, his actions needed to be looked at a little bit. He needed to check on what he was doing. Of course, the on target was saying, you know, great job, you're doing a great job, and this was a simple, nonverbal way to let the student know that we were aware that he was putting out his best effort and working to perform to his peak. Again, all of these were used to be positive reinforcements. There was never negative attitudes or negative verbal responses to students. It was always done in a positive manner so that the students felt that they were respected and that they were able to keep their dignity intact even when their behaviors sometimes were not in response to what was expected of them in the classroom. Again, overall, it was a positive attitude of the teacher that was infectious in the classroom. The entire classroom management plan was as I said, well thought out, well organized, and consistent, which is another very positive attribute to have in a classroom. The students were considered as individuals and therefore worked well as individuals and independently, but they were also, because they were in a trusting, caring environment, they also were able to work well in small groups and whole groups. Overall, it was a very positive classroom. As I said, that did have a great deal of behavior strategies, implementations, modifications, and accommodations, but as stated earlier, it pretty well ran like clockwork, but it was always with an open mind and an open heart to look at the individual students and be certain that all the students' needs were being met and that they were being as successful as possible at the school.